And so like 5 days before closing, we wanted to go onto the property, kind of cut all the locks off. We didn't even walk the property really because it was just basically
Was there like
straight,
a fence up? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And just completely overgrown. And cut the locks, go in, and like kind of walk through these bushes, like totally overgrown. You can't see. And you're like, oh, this is interesting. Okay. Open the door, and
I'm scared.
My dad and I are standing there. And we're looking at each other like, what the?
No.
And it is floor to ceiling with gay porno, magazines, DVDs, paraphernalia.
No, I was not prepared for this.
Like just in this like there was stuff like going back to like the 80s and 90s.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Behind the Lockbox. I'm your host Stephanie Zalewski here with
Cameron Barbier.
Yep. Today we're very excited. We have a super special guest with us. He is actually an agent on our very own team. I think since we've been together the last, it's been 2 years. And
yeah, 2 years.
we really haven't stopped laughing because every time we see each other, we just literally burst into laughter. He actually started on the commercial side, correct?
Yeah.
And then he's now doing residential, although you still do some commercial deals. He's a powerhouse agent. We love him. He's funny as shit. Weston Clark, welcome to Behind the Lockbox. Yay! Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. What an honor. Wow.
So I know, you work with your dad, so there's got to be stories there. I mean, number one. But I know you have some stories for me. Let her fly.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many. Like, you just encounter people A to Z in this business. It's just bizarre.
It is.
Right? Nothing's rolled out. Nothing's rolled out at all. But going into probably the weirdest thing that I've seen, just going into a house, it was a property in La Jolla.
Okay.
It was it's like a development deal.
Okay.
House was old, vacant. There's really nothing there, like a shack on it.
So it was like land, but then there was,
it was
technically a structure on it.
Big piece of land with like, it was almost like a shed. You couldn't even see it because there were so many plants and bushes kind of growing up around it. Yeah. And we were just, cruising along, got a developer and escrow on it at both sides. And it's been a few years.
I know. Details are fuzzy. We had somebody on last week and he's like, well, that other deal that we did together. And I'm like, we've done 2 tours together. It's like, yes. I'm like, oh my God. It's like total amnesia, right? Like the second you close a deal, you're like, I forgot about it. Yeah.
It blends.
Yeah, it does. Anyway.
And so like 5 days before closing, we wanted to go onto the property, kind of cut all the locks off. We didn't even walk the property really because it was just basically
was there like a fence up? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And just completely overgrown. And cut the locks, go in, and like kind of walk through these bushes, like totally overgrown. You can't see. And you're like, oh, this is interesting. Okay. Open the door, and
I'm scared.
My dad and I are standing there. And we're looking at each other like, what the?
No.
And it is floor to ceiling with gay porno, magazines, DVDs, paraphernalia.
No, I was not prepared for this.
Like just in this like there was stuff like going back to like the 80s and 90s. Like literally.
Wait, so was this a house or was it like a shed, like just some like storage structure?
It was probably like a not even 1,000 square foot place on a big lot, like surrounded by trees and bushes.
Was there like a kitchen and bathroom and stuff in there too?
Yeah. But I mean, this is probably like 80 years old or something. Whoa. Super old and like super rundown. Like no one could ever, you would think, live there.
Yeah, it's like condemned.
and yeah, no one had ever been there that we thought, right, for a long time.
You found somebody's stash.
But it was like these must have been homeless at one point or another and kind of like found their way in there. And obviously had been there for some time because like all this stuff spread throughout the whole entire house. Like it wasn't just that like you walk in and
just like you found a couple, like it was like stacks.
Oh, I mean like 4 foot, 5 foot stacks of magazines, DVDs, like in weird stuff.
Weird stuff happened in there?
It didn't look clean.
Oh God, gross.
Wasn't an organized stack.
Wasn't perfectly in a
Wasn't
row with a nice little
dusted.
path all the way through. They're
No.
like, this is my collection.
Yeah.
Was there like a camera in there? Like maybe this was like a scene.
It could have been that could have been like punked, like no doubt. Like it was one of the grossest things.
It's like, what do we have here?
So what did you do with all that stuff?
Well, like, cause at first you're expecting to not see anything in there.
Right.
You start, right? You're just gonna kind of go through and just look at it and maybe take some pictures of like this vacant house. But now you're like, okay, there's people that live here.
Like it looked like
Like-
somebody had recently been in.
Oh yeah. Like
And
there
you're
was
doing weird things in here.
yes, doing weird things. Like they were obviously like living there and doing weird stuff. And so it's like goes from open the door, you see this weird stuff, you freak out about the weird stuff, but then also you're like, where's the word people?
Yeah, they
Right.
could come back any minute. I know.
They're supposed to be
They're like, hey man, you guys here?
You here for your set?
You here?
You-
so that was like that went from like just kind of like weird to like it's a little like freaky, a little scary. Like where these people are gonna like
I
jump
feel
out
like
of
it's
the
all
bush.
the emotions. Like you're just like,
Yeah.
oh wait, oh god, oh my god, oh what's happening? Like
oh shit.
Yeah. So now you're like on edge, like where they like are they to come out? Like what's going on here?
so when you were there that day, like no one
Was there.
no one ever
thankfully.
came by.
Think
And when you went back, did you guys ever find anybody?
no. So we
How'd you kill that stuff out?
Yeah, or did they come back and
Did you take it?
Is it garage? I knew it. We've never been in his garage. There might be reasons for this. No way. But yeah, what did you do with all that stuff? You guys got it cleaned out?
No, it didn't need to be. The whole place was getting demoed. I mean, it was like when I say this
It's in the
lot
landfill
was-
with that whole structure. They just demoed it all and
yeah,
scooped
I mean,
it up.
you couldn't even see that there was even a structure on the lot.
Because the weeds were like
The
so
weeds
high.
and the plants were just so high, just engulfed the whole thing, really.
Dude, I was not prepared. When you came in today and you're like, yeah, there was like some weird stuff at this house. I was like, okay. Was not prepared for stacks of gay porn.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Sick.
Sweet.
Is this the kind of shit you did on your radio show? Weston told us that he had a radio show in college.
Yeah, I did.
So you didn't get to do this kind. You didn't get to talk about this on there.
I didn't really get too vulgar on there.
Little did you
are.
know that's what you're doing. I know. Here we are. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Oh my god, that's hysterical.
That's really
this
good.
closed. Was this during COVID?
No, this was over 5 years ago.
Oh wow.
Is there a
Okay.
house there now?
Yeah. There's a brand new house. It's sparkling clean.
No
Might
weird
be
people.
might be haunted. I don't know. I haven't been in it, so I'm good.
I mean, my god, the guy like died there, and he comes back to like haunt you in your dreams to film.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Well, that was a doozy, and I was not prepared for that one. But you know, I love that you brought that with your first story. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I mean that's an obvious standout.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now it will be for me too.
Yeah, I walked in like, you have stuff to talk about, and he's like,
I guess.
yeah. He sits down, bam, and goes with that one. Like, oh my god, so good. Okay. We on our team, especially just with like all the listings we have, we do open houses all the time. So we've talked about stories, but do you have any open house stories? I feel like you must.
Yeah. I mean,
Is there a standout one? Like,
yeah. There's some like interesting ones. Not like nothing will quite go to that
I
level.
don't think anything yet has compared. So amazing.
Yeah. So that one was pretty funny, but I mean, open house. Yeah, I deal with weird people all the time. People that just come in and think they know everything, which is really funny. Yeah. Like I've been watching Zillow for 5 years. This house is overpriced.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate it. So you're not in the market to buy? No. I just want to see if you have my doors off close. Thanks.
Yeah. I'd say probably the weirdest experience I had was a house it wasn't in La Jolla, it was East San Diego, and held an open house there. This was relatively recent, probably 2-ish years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And normal open house, kind of when it's scheduled, a few people came in and it was great. And then right at the end, like 5 minutes before, which is when all the lovely people love to show up.
It's true.
There was a girl who came in with her phone out and kind of just like recording for like a
Like their
real
clients?
estate clients or like a real estate video. Or,
Was she an agent?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, she was an agent.
Okay, so she says.
Yeah, and it was just it kind of got a little weird because like she was walking through and I'm like, all right, it's now like I'm supposed to leave like 25 minutes ago.
No, geez.
And like she's not really doing anything there. Like she doesn't really have a buyer for it.
Right.
And it was just kind of like conversationally talking, you know, casually, just friendly questions, but it was just kind of lingering too long. Like it was just odd. Like we're just standing in the kitchen of this place.
You're like, all right, well,
Time to go.
Yeah, and so that day wasn't that weird. Like where I kind of just got some weird vibes. Like she was just not want to leave. Right?
How old was she?
Maybe 30s.
She totally thought Weston was hot.
I know. I was just gonna say
So-
she was after him.
No, but the funny
We love trying to set
the fun-
Weston
the
up
funny
too. We're like, what about that girl? What about that girl?
the funny thing is it's not that what happened that day really, but looking back on it, like she followed me on Instagram, and then like 6 months later, I started seeing her advertising for OnlyFans.
For what?
OnlyFans on Instagram. So like I'm like, okay, this video, I don't know, like maybe this is like
Was she like, hey, Weston, follow me on OnlyFans? What?
yeah. So that was like a weird
Wait, how did
one
you see that she was advertising on OnlyFans?
on Instagram.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't have an OnlyFans account? No. You never know. I'm just asking, you know, Weston.
Oh, no,
You're young.
I'm not gonna pay for that.
I'm not going to pay for that. Oh my God. Okay, wait. So she like started with following you on Instagram. And then was she sending you anything? Like any DMs or like commenting or liking any of your, did you follow her back?
Yeah, I mean, it was just like a friendly. It was like, okay,
Sure, you're like-
Agent. Yeah.
yeah,
right.
like you know,
Networking.
you have an agent, like make a connection with an agent. You never know
You don't
down
do
the
a
Deal
line.
with them or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
100%.
like there's a lot of weird people that you get a little bit closer to than you normally would,
Yeah.
just because
What are
it's
you
like
trying to say?
business. I mean, that's why I'm here.
I set that up.
We love you. You know you love us. We're the other two sisters that you never wanted. If Bianca wasn't enough, you've got us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But yeah, because you just, I mean, you have that little bit of an extra leash in case there is that
Yeah.
like future potential
Yeah.
for
It's true.
for a deal, or you know, I'm at an open house to try and sell this house, so
Yeah.
I don't know what her, you know,
And,
maybe
like-
she's got someone.
So like you don't ever know. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to say. So did you pay for her OnlyFans then? What was on her OnlyFans?
I didn't pay.
Let's find it.
Okay.
Let's look it up.
I've heard of that, but what is it?
Oh, don't act like you don't.
No, I'm serious. Is she like a porn star or something?
No, it's
Well-
not. Well, can it get that way?
What do you mean? Like you only have fans because you're hot or something? What is going on? Let's get left out.
So this is supposed to
don't
be a
understand.
real estate podcast.
It's turning into
we're
OnlyFans
5 minutes
now.
in, and we're talking about OnlyFans.
And gay porn and you know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Maybe it was her house.
sorry, mom and dad.
this one's not going to be professional, I guess.
Thanks a lot, Weston. You brought it today.
Wait, so what
okay.
is it?
All right, we'll tell you. It's basically I've never been on it. Let me just
Okay.
preface, just like you.
Yeah, you
But a
understand.
housewife has an account, which is how I know because obviously I live the housewives. I assume you like sign up for an account and then you post. Oh, and like some of the girls on Vanderpump Rules did this, where like you can post pictures of your feet or sexy pictures of you, and people subscribe, and you basically sell like your Instagram
Yeah, like basically, like I can buy a Netflix subscription to your
to your
pictures.
feet.
That's disgusting.
I know.
Hey, people are making like millions,
Millions.
millions of dollars a month on this.
What?
Should we start?
Yes. What do people want to see? My feet?
I don't know. We should try it next week.
What do you mean? Like people have fetishes?
Behind the lockbox. Well, yeah.
I think it kind of goes wherever people want to take
So
it.
what was the picture that popped up on your feed?
No,
Or your
like-
Just like an advertisement for her.
Well, because like a lot of times, like people, influencers or whoever starts these, like you don't post the same thing that you would do on there on like
Right.
Instagram.
Right.
You kind of just post like a little bit more provocative of a photo, and then usually it says link in bio, or like they put a link on the story now that it's kind of
To like the
Instagram lets you do it.
OnlyFans app,
Yeah.
basically. And then if you don't subscribe or you don't pay for that, I guess you can't see
Yeah,
it.
you can't see
It's kind of like Patreon. They're not the same thing, but like
I think it's pretty similar.
okay, well, it's a subscription based app,
Yeah.
right? And so if you subscribe, like people can then, you know, find your.
Can they like request? Do you post a certain thing?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Says the one who doesn't have an account.
No, I don't. It's like such a relevant thing though to like to people, a lot of people I know.
I actually had no idea this existed.
I think we found our new business venture if real estate doesn't work out. You never know. Anyway. I don't know.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
To look that one up.
Firing off.
I'm glad you didn't know what it was.
I know. I was like trying to
Educate
hang in
you.
there. Like, all right, come on, Cam. Like, just pretend you know. Like, you're like, I can't
need
go
to
through
know.
with this.
I need to know what this is right now.
I feel like I've heard of that, but no. As we kept going, it's like, I don't know this.
So do you still see her like from time to time?
Not in person. It was a one-time thing.
It was a
in person.
one-time thing.
Yeah.
She was totally hitting on you.
Oh, so like, was the recording maybe for her account?
That's
was
that's
just
that's
you?
kind of like that was one of the. That's why I wasn't sure. I was like, I was kind of getting some weird vibes.
Was she like trying to put you like in her like selfie videos or anything, or no? Or she was literally just recording the house?
It wasn't that casual with just the house. It was.
Looking
No, it
you
wasn't-
up
it
and
wasn't
down.
Like that. It wasn't like that bad, but it just,
my mind
it
it
wasn't
was.
that straightforward.
Yes, looking at that way.
What you thought, too.
100%. And if we saw her, we'd be like, no, you can't date her. She's not gonna know. Every girl that we're like, Weston, I'm like, why are you looking at her? Mm-mm.
We get so mad at you.
I know. We're like, she's not even cute. He's like, I wasn't doing anything. We're
Just
like,
saying hi to her. I'm like, no,
we
you're
jump
not
on him.
allowed to.
You're not allowed to.
Not allowed to.
Bianca's like, I agree. No.
My
We're like,
bad.
yes.
Yeah, but then we found out he was like dating somebody for like 10 months.
Wait.
Yeah.
No.
No, well, this is long gone, but we got mad at him for that because he never told us.
Oh, I do kind of vaguely remember that. Are you still dating her?
No.
Are you dating anybody? Are you single?
Yeah.
Ladies, Weston is single. We'll put his handle below.
His only chance account belonged.
All right. Let's try to bring this
Yeah,
back
let's bring
for,
back to real estate.
some real estate stuff. Did you have questions? I feel like you did. You can't
probably
think of
don't
it
want
now.
them anymore.
Behind the Lockbox is sponsored by Property Showcase Group. Property Showcase Group has a team of creatives, directors, producers, editors, marketing specialists, and designers that work in tandem to tell and share stories of the built environment. Whether you're looking for full-service production or simply just need content creation, Property Showcase Group can help take your business to the next level. To learn more or to contact Property Showcase Group to schedule a consultation, you can find them at propertyshowcasegroup.com. That's spelled PROPERTYSHOWCASEGROUP.com. PropertyShowcaseGroup.com. Give me a professional story. Do you have any?
Yeah, I mean, just like of like a weird.
Yeah.
Like. All right. Yeah. So I'll give you like a very recent one.
Ooh, I love it.
Not gonna take anywhere where those other stories were. It's
Okay,
just
that's okay. We're
strictly professional.
We're trying to bring it down a notch. You know what I mean?
I'll probably make it go there, but
Thank
that's
God the AC is on. You it's getting hot here. All right, hit me.
No, just walking into a listing presentation, right? It's kind of like a warm lead, like referral type of situation.
Sure.
So it wasn't like a full-on listing presentation.
Who was with you?
And another agent
Okay.
who I'd only met once, who was a elder, like kind of agent,
Okay.
woman,
Okay.
and she just didn't want to really work anymore. So just kind of handing
She's like, can you come over? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and going in to meet these people and well, yeah, I'll leave some of the details out because it's pretty like recent, but just getting handed like I prepare, like get comps, and I'm like this is kind of what I'm thinking the ballpark of the value is.
Yeah. Right.
And this house is not on the water, right? This is somewhere a little bit east.
Okay.
And
So it's not coastal, but it's
yeah,
here in San Diego.
It's close in San Diego, yeah. And I get handed a 5-page double-sided like pamphlet of everything about the house, why it's so amazing. They list comps. Like
sellers gave
From
us
the
to you?
seller?
yes, this is sellers. They gave me comps, and like one of the ones was a property that we just sold right in the Hoyt Shores, across the street from the ocean. And it was like a comp.
As a comp.
Yeah.
All right.
And I mean, we're talking like miles away, miles
In
east.
millions away.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I couldn't even get a word out about the price or any of that.
They just wanted to tell you everything about the house.
Yeah. I
Was
mean,
the house
like,
nice?
Really nice. Yeah. And they're nice people, like super nice people.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. And like, I think we come across that where people they just assume that they're like, they are smart people in business.
Yes.
And have their own things that they go about. But when it comes to real estate, they don't really they're not that in tune with the market, but they just kind of assume that their professional acumen transfers over.
Well, and again, it's always an emotional process, right? And so anyone who, we've run across this so many times, like anyone in their own home, like especially when they've lived there a long time and they've done all these upgrades and everything, like of course they're going to think that, you know, it's comparable to something that might not be, you know, it's tough. It can be a tough situation to kind of bring them back down to reality. And then some are very realistic and it's all good, but.
So did you land the listing?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Did it sell?
Not yet. I'm working on it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Is it overpriced?
Hey.
Yeah. Dig. Is it over? I mean, I've got a couple of those right now, so who am I to talk? But you know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if I can provide some value to someone.
Of course you will. Let's call the
someone.
OnlyFans agent. Get her back in there. I bet she could sell it for you.
And look who's the one that brought it back to that.
Yeah. Are we surprised? No, we're not. We're not.
So they made you a whole pamphlet of like, you're like, that's my job to bring this, not you, right?
Yeah, like, because I brought stuff too.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't want it.
Oh, we know what it is.
They're like,
You have our marketing like full on presentation, and you're like, they're like, no. You're like, oh,
Here's ours.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Did it have
was-
like everything that they had done to the house?
Yeah.
So was it helpful to have like the upgrades
Yeah, that's nice.
and the
I love
list?
that.
And
Yeah, I mean, like to a certain extent, yeah, but it was more of like the story. Like I got a story of the neighborhood, which was like very vague. Like they said the neighborhood. I'm not going to be super specific here, but the neighborhood.
well, if it's still for sale, we could drop the address in if you want to try to sell it. But you know,
The neighborhood was like they're like encompassing like 5 different neighborhoods, and what they're saying is the only neighborhood.
San Diego County. You're like, sure.
The original price was like millions wrong.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not just 1 million, like multiple millions.
So. Yeah.
So you're
But
listed.
It's better now. We're not.
So you're basically listed in El Cajon for 6 million. Cool.
How'd you know?
Oh my god, I don't know.
I was also the address.
That's pretty much waterfront.
Oh my god, is it El Cajon? No. Oh, I was like, damn, I'm so good.
Waterfront, El Cajon.
They're like, where? A puddle right here.
Because that's waterfront.
Yeah, the pool. The pool is waterfront. Thank you very much. Oh my god, that's so good. Oh, Weston. All right. Should we play the game?
Yeah, we can.
Because this might take us somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, we can always.
This might linger
Yeah.
a little bit. Okay. So we play a little rapid fire game called Punch List. So these are 3 questions we're going to ask you. First thing that comes into your head. Okay.
Yeah,
You ready?
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay. They're not bad.
I don't know. You could take it there. Like I don't know. We'll see.
What's the craziest or pettiest thing that's ever killed or almost killed one of your deals?
Potted plants.
Potted plants.
Alex, that's the second person that said that. What
I
happened?
think they said pot.
Oh, yes, that was it. Close. What happened?
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah, sellers took plants.
Oh, they took them away.
Yeah.
The buyers.
supposed to.
Was there anything like in the contract that
Nothing.
said these have to stay or
Yeah.
this isn't?
Yeah, and it wasn't that like was just not something that you would ever think about really.
No,
Like
yeah.
like very small.
What small ones?
They're like, that's my pot of mint. my
Trader
basil.
Joe's. Go
My
back.
basil that I'm growing. You can't take that.
Yeah.
That's wild. Remember the house that we had over here in the shore?
Yeah, I took some.
Did you ever bring any of those back? Was it Cam? Was it Cam that took your potted
Yeah,
plants?
it was Ken.
Sorry.
We did that deal. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It was over at right?
Yes, and
was
I
some
took. They were
cool-
beautiful,
yeah.
and I took this really pretty like blue one.
The
and
pots
when we moved,
itself were gorgeous.
Matt said I couldn't bring it because we were going to Texas. Like, where are you going to put that thing? And I kind of want to go back to the house and take it back.
We have new buyers still living there, so we can't do that. Don't worry, we're not breaking into
Well, they're
Spindrift.
tenants. How would they know? They have like a disco ball hanging
Okay.
outside
What?
their. Yeah, not that house. The one in Crown Point.
Wait, where did you? Oh, you left him at that house.
Yeah, and I'm really sad about it. Anyways, so yeah, I do get it why people would get emotional about it because I'm like, that thing's like $1,000.
It was. Those were big plants.
Yeah,
And the pots were
I don't think-
gorgeous.
yeah, it was more the pot, not the plant. I don't know what was that. Anyways,
You like uproot the plant. You're like, here's the plant. You can keep
I would
it.
kill a deal for a pot.
Not to be confused with
That
actual
pot,
pot. Just a pot.
potted plant.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay, what's the weirdest thing or situation you've ever walked in on?
Weirdest thing or situation. Well, the weirdest thing I kind of already.
Yeah,
was,
that's
that
pretty
was
weird.
didn't have that first story.
Gay porn, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I luckily haven't had like too many weird encounters that I've walked in on, like as far as people.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard some as far as like from my dad of his years in the business.
Oh my God, can you give us one?
Yeah,
Does anything come to mind?
yeah. There's one that definitely comes to mind.
What is it?
There was a tenant in a property that did not want said property to be sold,
It happens.
Yep.
and they had a party at the property like the night before, like showings, right? And there was some hired people right around the pool. I'll just put it that way. When it came to showing time, yeah.
Women.
And so I wasn't there. I was not there. But this is my dad just walking into that on his.
I feel like he's the best person to like walk.
He'd be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
here to stay."
You guys want you girls want to stay? Keep tanning. It's cool.
Yeah.
No
then
way.
The tenant was just trying to do everything to like not
To sabotage every showing.
but like not to the extent to where it was like they're being obnoxious, like in, I don't know, like destroying the house.
Right.
But they just wanted people to be super uncomfortable going through.
Was it supposed to be like a house that they would move in, or would they like acquire the tenants?
Yeah, move into.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not acquiring the tenants. It was a nice house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Del Mar. Yeah.
So they had money to hire said people.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like I'm really excited for this next question. Go ahead.
If you could be anything other than a real estate agent, what would you be and why?
Like, are we talking like,
Anything. Superhero. Anything.
Which I know.
gosh.
You feel like you know what he's going to say?
A professional baseball player?
I mean, that would be a pretty good place to be.
Yeah.
Honestly. I mean, that's kind of where my head was at for a lot of my life.
you knew that.
I mean, Cam just knows.
Yeah, I know.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Do better.
I'm sorry.
Good stuff.
My bad.
No, but yeah, I mean, honestly, that's kind of what, like, it's kind of like a child's dream.
For all through college, right?
Yeah, I played in college, and it was always kind of a goal of mine. I don't think I realized until after like my sophomore year, and some of my teammates, they didn't get drafted. That's kind of when I started to realize, I'm like, okay, well, if they're not going pro, like some of them went like semi-pro and that kind of stuff, and I was like, I don't think I can. I'm very confident in my skills, but I'm also a little.
It's
bit
hard, I'm sure. Yeah, you're.
Yeah. So,
realistic.
but if I could, reincarnate myself, and if I could be like Fernando Tatis Jr., that'd be sick. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
We would also
Yeah.
love to hang out at your house, and if you
Yeah.
were Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd be all for the millions of dollars to sign a $350 million contract. It'd be cool. Yeah.
You could have hire some ladies by the pool.
Ladies by the pool.
I wouldn't need to hire them, I don't think.
That's
I'd hope.
okay.
So true.
If I'm
Does he need to hire them now? Probably not. I feel like the girls just flock to Weston. Look at this smile. Like,
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, after this podcast, who knows?
OnlyFans girl's gonna be hitting you up. Other girl, they're gonna be like, "Hey, you had your sexy voice on behind the lockbox. Want to go on a date?
Oh my God, what if you get married off of this?
Do we get to marry you? We'll officiate your wedding.
No, I'm going to be a groomswoman.
I'm ordained, so I'll officiate. Okay.
All right.
Is that cool?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll pull the ring out of a lockbox. How's that?
Perfect.
If that happens,
Sold. Yes.
I'll take her. I'll be like, hey, babe. Sorry, I got to do a quick showing really quick. Do you mind if we stop by this house? Put the code in.
Yeah. She's like, what is happening? Ta-da. Oh, by the way, this is what the ring bearer is going to carry our rings out in lockboxes
Then we'll
as well.
It'll be like the Sentry key. So, does the face of that makes the noise. It opens up.
Wait, who just did that
I
noise?
did.
You did. Of course you did. Of course you did. Oh my God. Weston, thank you so much for being here today. I don't know. My face hurts from like laughing.
too.
Oh my God. Thank you. We loved having you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks
For the
having
wedding.
Can't wait to officiate. Anyway,
Yeah.
ladies, he's single. All right. Thanks for being here, guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Behind the Lockbox is produced and edited by Property Showcase Group. If you like this podcast, please share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, or review this podcast. Thanks for your support. See you next week.